and really looking forward to some exciting installments in 2023. Of course, we've got a lot to talk about moving forward. Saturn in Pisces, Pluto in Aquarius, so many things. So it's going to be a massive H1, at least, of 2023, the first half. But let's just talk about a couple of little features of the last few days of the year. So we just have two aspects or two features to really wind out this year. And so that is Venus sextile Neptune, and that happens on the 28th in all of the time zones. And then in all of the time zones, we have Mercury stations retrograde, and it does so conjoining Venus. So that's an interesting turn of events. So before we get to that Venus sextile Neptune, I mean, it is Wednesday, the 28th of December at this point. And so that is that week between Christmas and New Year where you don't know what day of the week it is, what you're meant to be doing, all of the things. And so to have a little bit of a Venus Neptune moment really does bodes well, because Venus and Mercury are traveling really close together. So there is this, whatever Mercury hits, Venus will hit at the same time. So this is going to be great for a day trip, a little bit of beach time. Obviously, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, maybe it's a walk on a lake rugged up or something like that. But Venus sextile Neptune is a nice sort of dreamy energy to start to wind down the year. This might be about thinking about what you might like in relationships moving forward, or the Venus parts of your life or the Capricorn part of your life. So this may be to do, how do you want to experience more pleasure? How do you want to make better connections? Or just maybe open up that pathway or that channel if you want to get more creative or more inspired around Venus parts of your life. If you want to have more fun, more joy, more pleasure, all of that stuff. So Venus Neptune at 22 Capricorn Pisces may give you a little bit of an opportunity to kind of turn your attention within and figure out what you might like. And the reason I kind of took that pathway was because on the 29th, in all of the time zones, Mercury will station retrograde and conjoin Venus at the same time. So Mercury stations at 24 degrees of Capricorn. So this might be a little bit of a throwback to 2021, around this time of year when Venus stationed retrograde. So I'm just going to cast my mind back to that. So Venus stationed retrograde at 26 of Capricorn last year. And she went all the way back to, station last year. And in January this year, station direct at 11 Capricorn. So this might be a throwback to maybe some of the New Year's resolutions that you had last year. Did things really change? Did they really improve? Excuse me, a cat hair. Maybe all is not as it seems. And so what this particular aspect may invite you to do is to have those discussions, those relationship rethinks, rethink of your attitudes or your habits, and your mindset around, Venusian things. For some of us, of course, it might be more about what your Capricorn house represents in your life. And so this might be about, let's just say, for example, it's the 9th house for you. This might be really rethinking some of your values and your habits and your approaches, maybe to travel, maybe to study, maybe like your worldview or philosophy on things. So this is quite an interesting factor. Trying to find the word there. An interesting factor to what's going on. I think there might be some secrets here that will be revealed, whether those are on the personal or the collective front. Venus is now visible as Mercury is stationing retrograde and preparing to go into the underworld. So there's symbolism here that, there's something maybe of a relationship or Venusian nature that needs time to rethink and reflect. So what happens around this period of time, this particular Mercury retrograde, is going to have some, I don't really like this word, but it will have like a ramification or a reverberation to Venus retrograde that happens May to September. Venus in Leo this year. So we'll have a Venus Leo, July through to September. Venus will be retrograde in Leo. So obviously Capricorn and Leo don't share a relationship, but this may relate in the idea of the decisions that you make during this period of time may have implications for Venus retrograde. So this is sort of like my very vague way of saying that this is almost like a pseudo Venus retrograde as well, because of where Venus stations, Mercury stations. So this might be also Venus Mercury stuff around deals, work contracts, moving forward into 2023, whether you're buying and selling stuff or having to change a relationship paradigm and some of those logistical stuff around that. So whether that means you might be parting ways with someone, maybe you're looking to join forces with somebody in 2023, take a relationship to the next level. Okay, what discussions have to take place that might be real or practical or logistical, not particularly romantic, but there's a guy actually who he owns this new gym that I joined back in October, or started going to back on October, and he's got this goal of some goal of 30 gyms by a certain time, 2027, whatever. But his philosophy in business is you enter into business with somebody, but also an exit strategy. So what's it going to look like when that relationship breaks up or the business goes south? So what happens at the end point, right? And that might be a bit of a buzzkill when it comes to romance. But, when you are investing energy, time, money, I think that's like obviously a smart thing to do. So this could be something that is a part of this story as well. One other thing, did I mention this already, that there is that it's 3 degrees from Pluto, but I think it is going to pick up on some of those maybe darker or hidden or more vulnerable themes. So it is about having conversations that might be difficult, that might be hard, that might come through under this retrograde. Now, this retrograde is going to continue through until January. So technically in 2023, we will have 4 Mercury retrogrades, because this is a little bit of a lingering one that will continue next month. So in 2023, we will have all of the retrogrades in Earth signs. So the Earth triplicity is going to be really active, which is going to bring the foundational things: money, food, shelter, the bare basics, the earth stuff. So when we look at our own charts, look at those 3 houses that are the earth houses for you. Now, this is going to show you the areas of life that are going to be impacted by Mercury retrogrades. So for some of us, it might be like 2nd, 10th and 6th. For others, it might be 1st, 5th and 9th. And so that's going to give you a little bit of a flavor on what you're going to be working with, in this retrograde triplicity starting this time. And that's going to help guide you throughout 2023 as well. So 24 degrees is the spot. So if you've got any points or planets around 24 of the cardinal signs in particular, you're going to be perhaps more impacted by the retrograde, or if you have Mercury as your perfected planet for this particular time frame.